So, in yesterday's session, we were discussing about EC2 instance, how to create an EC2 instance, how to host the application. All those things we have discussed in yesterday's session. I believe everyone would able to understand now. Okay, so in today's session, we are going to see about the monitoring, the one of the auto scaling group, which comes under the module called monitoring and scaling. So what is the requirement of auto scaling group? Okay, what is the requirement of auto scaling group? Okay, so let's take an example. Okay, when you have a application which is having an irregular traffic, what does it mean is like maybe you don't know what it is, how it is happening is you don't know what traffic is going to come to you. Okay, and then there was application, your application is running. You predicted that I will be getting 1,000 users, 1,000 requests per minute. Okay, which is 1,000 requests per minute, which is a very minimal. Okay, so you decided that servers with four core CPUs enough to handle the traffic. Okay, and it is working as a charm. And suddenly your one day, I don't know, we don't know what happened, but suddenly your application got popular on particular day, and then there are lot of users has been started using it. Okay, and then for that particular moment, what happened, application went down because it couldn't able to handle the traffic. And so application went down and people went disappointed. So after you have you've identified, okay, lot of people tried to use, and then you a lot of people tried to use, and then due to servers can't handle the traffic, it went down. So you decided to raise the server capacity. Okay, instead of two servers, you increase the size, you procured you got new servers from two more new EC2 instance from the AWS, and you updated it. And then now you are seeing the traffic, it's very low, and then your four CPUs is not been used. So again here cost is will lost. So such an irregularity. And then if you again you decided there is no traffic is coming, so I will be going and reduce the server. So you terminate the two EC2 instance. Again the next day there were a huge traffic, your application went down, again people went disappointed. So this is happening in the recurring, and you couldn't able to find it out what is the optimal server count you require, and how, when the traffic is increased and when the traffic is coming, not very low. You couldn't able to predict this one, which is your traffic is very unpredictable. So that is in this is the scenario I'm setting up. Okay, we will be discussing some more scenarios based on the auto scaling policies. Okay, this is the most optimal scenario, and then you don't know when to increase and when to decrease. So but as a operation manager, they decided we should not go run out of servers anymore, but at the same time we need to save the costers as well. They are coming and asking you as since we are architects, they are asking us whether do we have any solution, optimal solution in this case. So for such an use case, we will be having one feature which is called as an auto scaling groups. Okay, so what is this auto scaling groups does, we'll discuss in detail. Okay, auto scaling group monitors your applications and automatically adjusts the capacity to maintain a steady, predictable performance at the lowest possible cost. As I said earlier, we don't know when it is traffic will increase and decrease, and then at the so we need to prepare for all such a scenarios to and then as always, and and we need to reduce the cost as well. We need to keep the cost as well in the minimum level. So in this case, auto scaling will come into the picture. What does this auto scale do mean? It will monitor your application. Okay, it will monitor your application based on certain metrics and all. Okay, it will monitor application based on the traffic, incoming traffic, or based on the traffic. It will automatically increases your uh, increases your capacity. And once that traffic has been done, very low traffic only going right now, then it automatically decreases your capacity as well. So in this case we will be saving lot of cost, and then that is, and then at the same time we are not going run out of the application like previous, like when you have less servers and when you can't predictable, that time we will be running out of the server set. But here we are not running out of servers, at the same time we are not, we are saving the costs as well. Okay, so that is the power. This is one of the powerful feature which AWS has. So how it is works: auto scaling group explore your application, discover what you can, this we need to set up, and choose to what to optimize, and track the scaling as it happens. So we will be once we set the auto scaling group, it will tracking your application. So based on the criteria which we are setting, it automatically scale up and scaled out. Okay, so before getting into the auto scaling group, I want to explain two different scalings, which is a vertical scaling as well as one more thing is horizontal scaling. Okay, what is vertical scaling and horizontal scaling? In the sense, vertical scaling is like you are increase the capacity of the server. Okay, like currently 1 to 1 cpu 8 GB of ram, 1 TB ssd is means you defined that, you discovered that the capacity is you need more capacity hereafter, then you are increasing it to 16 GB or whatever, like increasing the capacity of the same server. A single server you are for that you are increasing the capacity of server, like 16 GB or 32 GB, like that. Okay, in that case, that is called as an horizontal scaling. Okay, whereas a vertical scaling is like you will be having a same set of servers, one more set of servers, like maybe you will be running with one server with 4 GB. Now you are increasing it as a three independent servers with the same capacity. So this is called as an horizontal scaling. Okay, so scaling up, here vertical scaling, usually they will tell, they use the terminology as a scaling up. Here in a horizontal scaling we will be using the terminology called as a scaling out. So in general, auto scaling, AWS auto scaling will use as a horizontal scaling uh, practice. Okay, it will increases the number of servers. Okay, it whenever there is a traffic begins and you need to increase this capacity means, it will implement the horizontal scaling, which is a scale out. So when the capacity increases, that will be mentioned as a scale out, whereas a capacity is decreases, that will be called as a scale in. Okay, scale out means a new server is adding. Scale out means new server is adding, whereas a scale in means existing capacity is getting reduced. Okay, so these two terminologies we should need to be aware before getting into an auto scaling group. Okay, so what, as I said earlier, this is auto scaling group. We here, if you see, with the AWS EC2 auto scaling, you can build a scaling plus how to, that automate how groups of different EC2 servers demand and change in respond to change in the demand. What does that mean is, you whenever the, as I said, as we discussed earlier, whenever there is a change in the traffic, we need to increase the capacity or decrease the capacity based on the demand. It needs to respond. That EC2 server, we know EC2 is the server where we are going to host our applications, right? So based on the demand, it need automatically needs to increase and decrease. That can be achieved using a Amazon EC2 auto scaling group. This auto scaling group is auto scaling is not only limited to EC2 alone. When you we will be going to discuss database services such as RDS and all those things. There also this auto scaling feature can be used. Okay, there are also the options we can use auto scaling groups. Okay, we have a multiple scaling policies based on that, and we have to set the threshold or whatever it is. So based on the uh, optimization here, if in the first slide, if you see, okay, okay, here you are discovering what to scale or optimization, right? Based on this optimization only, scale in and scale out happens. So if you see here, there are four EC2 instances running across two availability zones. Suddenly if the traffic is more, it will increase to 6, and then if the traffic is less, it will reduce us to 4. So based on certain condition, that's what we are going to set up. Okay, based on certain condition, yeah, launches or terminates, like scale out or scale in happens based on the threshold which we are going to set up. Okay, so this is a very high level overview, one not one overview of AWS auto scaling group. If you guys have any doubts, please let me know. I'm giving a pause for 30 seconds. So okay, so one more point to add up, auto scaling group will be integrated with the ELB, which is a load balancer, which we will see during our paid sessions and all. Okay, which we auto scaling group can be get to begin the load balancer. So load balance, based on the load balancer, the traffic will be splitted, right? So that is also option is available. So it will give a seamless experience to our users, because load balancer is yeah, very good feature to load to split the loads between the instances, right? Right. So scale in and scale out, as I said earlier, cloud computing addresses the problem of overuse or underuse of resource through the concept of scaling. What does that concept mean? As your business grows and the demand of your application increases, your infrastructure costs will increase over a time. And elastic infrastructure can intelligently expand and contract as its capacity needs change. Okay, so this is a predictive demand. So increase the number of web servers when traffic is spikes, lower the write capacity on your database when the traffic goes down, and then handle the day-to-day fluctuation on demand through your architecture. So these are the things we need to keep in our mind. Okay, so when in a traditional IT procurement model, if this is the predicted means, as always, we will be spending the money at the front. Okay, in this capacity means we don't know when this will scale up from here to here. So what we will do as prior, we will be purchasing the even if you are taken a cloud as well, right? You don't know the when the traffic will reach this to this level. If suddenly it reach means you can't able to meet the traffic, right? We can't meet that business thing. So what you will do means, maybe you can purchase in prior. Okay, if you are purchasing in prior means until that time of period you will be having this cost, right? You are wasting your resource. We are not meeting that server, we are not utilizing the server which we purchased earlier. So we will be losing the traffic is the demand, like in we predicted in this linear and we purchased stuffs here, but the traffic is going in this manner. Okay, which means in this case we will be losing a lot of cost. If you see, this is what the cost we purchased here, but the demand is this one, and then we are losing the cost, and then suddenly it reaches, and then okay, fine. So when such an unpredictable traffic, we will be using here. If you see here, opportunity cost we had it, and then suddenly traffic is rise, and then your traditional servers is still only able to handle till this level of traffic, but traffic is higher, so here we are application may goes down. That is what I was explaining in the first step. When we having an unpredictable predictable traffic, sometimes we may lose the cost opportunity, sometimes we may lose the application opportunity. That means that our application may goes down, means both the way it will works, right? So to avoid these things only, we will be having a elastic auto scaling group, which is means based on the traffic your capacity will increase and decrease. Okay, so in this case we are exploiting both operational opportunity loss as well as cost loss. Both has been mitigated with this auto scaling. um, both can be both can be avoided using this auto scaling concepts. Okay, everyone understood what is, at least got an idea what is auto scaling components? I believe everyone got an idea what is auto scaling concept. So I'm just going into my AWS account to show the console tour, then there after we'll pick up a demo. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry guys. So EC2, if you go inside EC2, so there is an option called auto scaling groups. So this is where the auto scaling group, I will switch to another region, so I will be we will be creating from the first. Okay, so nothing will be there. This is the page you will be landed, and auto scaling group if you want to create. Okay, so you can click on here in the EC2 tab only. Okay, so um, when you are trying to create an auto scaling group, the first and foremost thing you need to aware is a launch template. Okay, and then where and how many you need. Like you need to find it out how many servers, and what is your optimal server count right now. So that one you have, we need to aware. And then when and how long you need them. Like we are going to create some policies how to increase and decrease capacity and all. So these are the three things we have to be aware when you are creating an auto scaling thing. The first thing is launch template. What is this launch template? If you look out the website console, this is the auto scaling, just a name. Okay, the first option they are asking you a launch template. What is this launch template is defines. As I said earlier, this is a Amazon EC2 auto scaling. We know during the high traffic, a new EC2 instance will be get created, increase or something. Okay, at the time, on this time, we created an EC2 instances, and we given we asked a lot of informations, right? Like what is name, AMA ID, key pair, instance type, networking settings. All these things we need to be filled up before creating an EC2 instance, right? In the same case, during auto scaling, we, because we are not going to sit and monitor, and we are not going to give all these details during that sudden traffic. Automatically my auto scaling group going to create an EC2 instance. That is what we know. But what it will create, what EC2 instance type it will create, what will be there in that application. My application replica needs to be there as well, right? So such a thing is called as an auto launch template. What is this launch template we will be having means, it will have all the details to launch in a new EC2 instance, which means, yeah, instance type, yeah, BPS volume, which AMI, ENI, user data file, all the all the information will be there in the launch template. So when our scale out is happens, auto scaling group will refer this launch template. So what are all the parameters are updated in this launch template, right? It will use, and then it will create a new EC2 instance thing. So it is a mandatory file that we must need to create in a launch template. Okay, without without giving a large template, we can't able to create an auto scaling, because that is the reason, because when scale out is happens, it needs to refer certain parameters, right, to create an EC2 instance. So all those information we are be going to put it in the launch template. So before you create an auto scaling group using a launch template, you must create a launch template. This template includes the parameters parameters required to launch an EC2 instance, such as Amazon machine image, instance type, and other all those details. Okay, you are strongly encouraged to create an auto scaling group from launch template to get the latest feature from the EC2. There was launch configuration prior to launch template. It was been deprecated now. People are not encouraged to use a launch configuration, because launch templating having some more extra features when compared to launch configuration, which has a templating version and other some features. But they are currently launch template is the only option available in the console, so you don't need to worry about launch configuration, which is a previous generation. Okay, I believe everyone got what is the requirement of launch template. So I will go ahead and create on launch template. So you will be subsequently able to understand the things. So if you see, when I click on the button create launch template, means it looks like same as a EC2 instance creation console, right? This is a EC2 instance console when you want to create independently, right? It is just a replica, right? Because we are going to provide all the details here. Okay, I'm going to create a test. Okay, CDP test. Okay, and then if you click on this one, they will tell mandatory field will be required, optional field, if there is any mandatory field, they will be keeping it a required something. Okay, so I'm just, if you want to get any, if you have already having any specific launch template, means you can directly use, means that launch template will be integrated. But here I don't have anything, I'm going to create it new. So it is showing like it is required, which means without providing this detail you can't create a launch template. Okay, I'm going to use same Amazon Linux what we used yesterday. Okay, and then launch template. uh, if you wish to add in launch template, means you can add it, else you can, while creating an AWS EC2 uh, AWS auto scaling, there also we can uh, mention why this feature means, with the single launch template you may can use a different environments. What does that mean is, you will be having a dev environment, stage, and a production. You can you the difference between these two environments is size, because production we will get lot of data, and then we may go for a bigger size, whereas in a dev it will be a smaller size is enough. So we can use a launch template, same launch template, but while creating an auto scaling like a dev production, when you're having a separate domain, there you can define the size, what it is, server size. That is the reason they are giving option whether uh, you can include in the launch template, or you can set up it. That's the reason they give an option. The same thing Okay, if you want to have a different key pass for different applications, you can use it. Okay, so network settings also you can do the same thing. And then EBS volumes. Okay, and finally in the advanced details I'm going to create paste the same things. Okay, so yesterday we did a mistake of not including a sudo. I will be adding sudo. Right, so create a launch template. Okay, when I create a launch template, there is a one template file got created. So whenever I'm going to launch an EC2 instance, I like a auto scaling group, I can refer this launch template. So what are all the information is already defined, those things will come in here. Okay, test. Now I'm going to choose a launch template. So here these are the details, this is the AMI ID which I'm going to use, and these are the information I didn't add. So as we create an auto scaling, we will able to add it. Okay, and then so if you see, since we didn't add a instance type in the launch template, here it is asking which EC2 instance you are going to use. Okay, I'm going to use a T2 micro, uh, uh, which is the free tier. Okay, so that one instance purchase option you can integrate. Yesterday we discussed on demand as well as spot, right? You, since it is an auto scaling group, always the it is a best practice that we can have an on demand instance mostly in, because as well as you can add a spot, because yeah, minimum traffic can be served from on demand, because always that on demand system will be there with us. Sometimes if you want to handle extra traffic, you can go with the spot, because spot will give for a very lesser cost. Even though they are remove the spot instance from our application, that's fine, still our on demand systems will serve a minimum traffic. So it is based on the architecture of the application, you can set up on demand and the spot. So I'm going to create here 50 percentage on, 50 percentage spot. Okay, because I'm going to create two instances or seven. Okay, so like that I can choose. And then in the network settings you can choose a network, and then which availability zone. This we didn't discuss, so we will discuss in previous in the next sessions about networking. So if you want to attach with the load balancer, you can attach, or you since we didn't discuss about load balancer, I'm not going to attach, and I'm going to give next. So till now everything is fine. Okay, the thing has been set up. So this is where we need to figure it out, how group capacity. So you have to know about your application, what is the desired capacity, which means I believe this is the desired capacity, like this is the optimal capacity of the server I require to run my application. So that will be a desired capacity. And then minimum. Okay, minimum always at least these many servers needs to run in my application. So that will be kept it, that will be keep it in the minimum capacity. And then maximum. Okay, even traffic comes higher and higher, I this is the maximum capacity level should be scale out from my application, means that is the maximum limit you are going to set, we are going to set. Okay, a group contains a collection of EC2 instances that are treated as a logical grouping for automating scaling. So while we are launching an auto scaling, by default, whatever the amount we are going to set in the desired capacity, it will take that capacity and launch the application. Okay, and then you once the based on the traffic, if it is very low, it automatically go to minimum. In case the capacity traffic is high, it will increase the capacity. Okay, so these are the three things we need to know before setting an application. So we, as a application architect, you have to discover what is the desired capacity, what is the minimum and maximum capacity for the application. As application, different application requires a different capacity levels, so we have to understand. Okay, that is the second thing we have to know in the auto scaling group. Okay, and then so here, right, so here we are going to set the capacity. I am going to set the capacity as a 2 is my desired capacity. Minimum, when I launching this auto scaling, two EC2 instance will get launched, and then that minimum always one capacity will be available. Maximum it go for a 3. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to, which we'll see in a while. Scaling policies, minimum instance maintenance policies, all those things. I'm going ahead and creating a note, auto scaling. This tab also I will tell. Okay, add notification. In case if you want to know and set a notification, we will be attaching notification. I will try to attach at the end, come as demo goes. Okay, if you want to add any tag, suppose this is the environment, already we have a name tag by default. If we are going to set up environment, it's I'm referring it as a dev environment, means I can add a tag and then you will be reviewing it. So what is the launch template? So in launch template, what are the details we got, we will be getting it. And then network, we set it manually. In case if you want to set it in the launch template itself, that is also option, you can set it up. Okay, and then instance requirement, which EC2 instance we are going to use, and then instance purchase option, allocation strategy. So these are things we'll discuss during load balancer and health checks. These are things will be discussed during our load balance sessions. Okay, I'm not going to discuss. I'm straight away going and creating an auto scaling group. Okay, so if you see, right now I've created an auto scaling group under the instance management. If you see, not yet in service, as I told, I set my desired capacity as a 2. It is trying to launch two instance. Okay, which means if you go to instance management, two instances getting launched. Okay, two instances getting launched. Okay, because I set my desired capacity as a 2. Okay, I believe everyone is clear. Okay, I believe everyone is clear. So desired capacity is as a 2 and maximum minimum capacity is as 1 and maximum is 3. So by default two instance has been launched. Okay, clear. Here now we set it up everything manually. Okay, we have set it up manually. There is no tracking and all, as we discussed first. Okay, if you go here, two instances been launched. So group detail is 2, max minimum is 1, maximum is 3, and the launch template details, networking, all those details will be available under the details tab. So activity tab, we can see the information whenever there is a new instances launch or terminates. All those informations will be available under this activity tab. And then we haven't created a notification yet, so once we get notification, those notification details will be available. So this is an automatic scaling which we are going to discuss now. Okay, so as I said, first we are going to track it, not going to track it manually. Suppose if I want to increase the capacity, means now I need to increase 3 or 4, means I have to increase it in manually. But I, as we know, we are not going to increase the capacity module, capacities, as based on the application's traffic, it needs to automatically increase and decrease, right? So what, that automatic scaling only we are going to set it up now. Okay, there are a different policies are available. Okay, so these are the different policies are available in automatic scaling. which is a scheduled, dynamic, and predictive. Okay, I will go with the first scheduled. What is the scheduled means? You know, in the upcoming days. Okay, in upcoming days, maybe in the Flipkart and Amazon applications, kind of applications we do have, right? So in the upcoming days, there is a like what to say. Amazon is announced the big billion sales. Okay, big billion day sales, which means we are anticipating that the traffic is going to be high on that those big billions days. Okay, then we know what is coming into our we know what is coming into our application. So you don't need to wait until the day of and then going and increasing the capacity. Instead of that, what we can do is we can schedule it. Okay, on day test, I'm just giving CDP test, scale out. Okay, scale out. Scale out means I am increasing the capacity. Desired capacity will be 5, minimum is 3, and maximum is 7. Like that, I'm recurrence once. Okay, on which day, in etc zone, you which zone, time zone you can, on which day you are anticipating. On they are announced on 15th of 5 February, 15th of Friday on 12 o'clock. Okay, that means you can, what you can do means 14th, on 14th night 23, which means before 1 hour you are scheduling. You will be increasing the capacity because on 15th March 12 p.m they are starting the sale. So what is the does is means on, I'm creating. So on 15th of March, sorry, 14th of, okay, here I given as a mentioned as a 15th of March. Okay, take it. 16th March, they are starting the schedule. Okay. So since we used the ETC time zone, it was little bit confused. I'm just editing. Asia Kolkata time on 14th of March 30 20 11 p.m. I'm setting because on 15th of 15th thing they are changing. Okay, 15th of March on 12 p.m. they 12 a.m. they're starting the 00 they're starting. So 1 hour before I'm setting the scale out, which means before that on that particular time a new capacity, even though your current capacity is desired capacity is 2, minimum is 1, and maximum is 3, this will override and then it will increase the capacity. Okay, and then this big billions day selling is going for happening for next 10 days. So for the next 10 days this will be the this will be the capacity. And then what you are telling means after the 23rd of March, okay, or 25th of March, my 25th of March, 24th of March, my big billions day is getting reduced, sorry, uh, is going out. So you are anticipating the traffic will be very low after that particular day. So what you do means you are setting up a scale in as well. What you will do means your your these things is right. Desired capacity is 1, maximum, sorry, desired capacity is 2, maximum capacity is 3, because we started it, we didn't ended it, right? So we are ending up with the scale in minimum is 1 and maximum is 3. That is what we decide as a optimal at the first, right? I am setting up a zone Kolkata again, and then 23rd of 20 June, Sunday is ending. So for 25th March, I am setting up, okay, 00 time, and create means automatically these 10 days traffic will be that capacity of my auto scaling will be 5, 3, and 7. One on 25th of March, it will be go reduced to 2, 1, and 3. So this is what the scheduled action, scheduled automatic scaling. We are not going to manually edit on anything. On that particular time, automatically the scheduled will happen, and then we are able to increase and decrease the capacity. This is a scheduled action for such kind of uh, sale kind of things. Okay, but you have an application that more one more application example I will give for schedule, which is an companies. Okay, you know government offices will be running only 9 to 5, right? So the transactions are happening only 9 to 5. That time only you need to create an application. Okay, then what you can do means you can create a scheduled scaling policy and keep it as a recurrence event. There is an option called recurrence. Okay, every day at morning. Okay, you know the application every day at morning 9 o'clock office starts. So you want to create an application by 9 like 8 a.m. Okay, 8 a.m. you want to uh, your application needs to scale out. Okay, scale out and then set a end time. This way this pattern is going to be for a for a long time, like I'm just for next 1 month I'm just giving. Okay, and every day at some time it will increase the capacity, and then um, at the same time after 5 o'clock I can create one more scaling policy, like 5 o'clock reduce it to 000. So within that after 5 a.m. there won't be any ec2 instance will be running. So we will be saving cost, because we know after 5 o'clock there won't be any transaction is going to happen. So we don't need to waste the money, right? So such kind of predictable loads on every day also we can set up a scheduled action. So this time it will be increased, so increase the capacity, after that decrease the capacity. This is the option of having a scheduled policy, scheduled auto scaling policy. So the second one is predictive. This predictive, what is does means by default there will be it will evaluate your, you can set it up, you can evaluate 1 week's traffic or 2 weeks traffic or 4 weeks traffic something. Okay, it's based on the application requirement. It will evaluate your traffic and it will find the pattern. When it is your traffic is a predictable means you can use this one. It will try to analyze your patterns and it will based on the historical data on that particular time. Take an example, every day 12 o'clock your traffic is very high means before 12 o'clock it automatically increase the capacity. After the traffic settle down it automatically reduce the capacity. Here we are not going to set. Here also we can set up a minimum stuff and all, but everything will be taken care by AWS itself using a machine learning algorithm. So this is the second option of having a predictive scaling. Okay, predictive scaling to increase the EC2 instance in your group in advance of daily or weekly patterns in traffic follows. Okay, it will be when you have a recurring um, events happening it in a predictable way means you can use this predictive scaling policy to automatically instance capacity increase and decrease in the happen. So we are meeting that opportunity cost. Okay, these are the second way. And the most important using policies are dynamic scaling policies. What is this dynamic scaling policies? In the dynamic scaling policy we'll be having a uh, three options, which is target tracking scaling policy, step scaling policy, and the simple scaling policy. So I will talk about first target tracking scaling policy, which is mean is you will be using a setting a threshold. Okay, you will be setting up a threshold which is a 50 or whatever. You are monitoring your application in first two options. First option we are not at all monitoring your application. In second option predictive scaling, it will analyze your application performance and it will create. So this is where you are setting it manually. Okay, this is my optimal level. In case if this level is been breached, this threshold is breached, you need to create a new auto scaling or auto scaling in. What is this target tracking scaling policies does? It always tries to keep your application in this threshold level. It will always suppose you currently traffic is fine, it will try to keep the you know that optimal application monitoring is 50 means. To keep that optimal solution average policy on 15, it requires currently two instances means it will maintains the two instances. Suddenly the traffic has been increased, and that means it will calculate how many instances required to keep that average utilization as a 50. So it will it evaluates, okay, I need a three more instances to keep that level as a 50 means it will increases three capacities, and then it will try to bring down the average CPU utilization across the EC2 instance as a 50. So that is what target tracking scaling policy. It is will be try to track your target and try to keep that utilization or network bytes, whatever the threshold level you are trying to keep, it will try to keep it at this level. Okay, there is something called a simple scaling policy, which means here you have to tell that, okay, this is my capacity. Okay, you 70 percentage is my capacity, 50 percentage is my capacity uh, threshold level. If it breaches the threshold level, we need to increase the capacity. If it is less than 30% means reduce the capacity. Here we are manually setting up that policies. So that is a simple scaling policy. If suppose if it threshold CPU utilization goes beyond 70 means it will increase one capacity, and then if it will automatically increase, keep on adding one capacity. Suppose the current traffic is very less to 30 percentage means it will reduce the capacity and will try to keep it the capacity level at the minimum level. So that is what this simple scaling policy does. Whereas the step scaling policy is an advanced version of simple scaling policy. You can create the steps. What does that mean is, add a capacity to one unit. One what does that mean is, if your your threshold level is 50. Okay, you set the threshold level 6. When there is beyond 50, add a capacity, one capacity. So suddenly traffic is increased to 80 means you can create a step. When it breaches a step 80 more than 80, you have to automatically create automatically scale out 4. So if it is a threshold level between 50 to 60 means increase the capacity by one by one. Suppose if it is a sudden capacity is between 60 to 80, increase the capacity by 4 count. Like that we can set as steps. Okay, so these are the different types of scaling policies are available. I'm going to use a target tracking scaling policy as a 50. Okay, scaling policies has been created. It will monitor this there will be one tab called monitoring. Okay, what it does means it will monitor this tab. So currently our CPU utilization is, if you see, our CPU utilization is 2.55. So what happens means, when the capacity as we set up here 50 50 as an average maintain, if capacity is goes increase, automatically increase the traffic. Okay, so currently if you look out, our application is having two EC2 instance, right? And then it is going as it is. What I will do now, I will since we don't have a load balance and all, we can split the traffic properly. So I'm going to okay, I will manually create increase the traffic with some stress loads and all. You can see how the application is responding. Okay, we can I will show the demo. I hope everyone got an idea what is auto scaling group now. Any doubts, guys? Fanindra and Shushanta, if any doubts please rise. So what I will do means, instead of um, uh, man-made traffic, okay, I try to create a more traffic using some stress loads thing. So we can watch out how this monitoring policy is being changes, and then how for this monitoring policy how my capacity is getting changed. Okay, what I will do means I will keep a desired maximum capacity as a 5 to increase the lot of applications. Okay, so if you see now the traffic is very low, that is the reason automatically one EC2 instance has been terminated by my auto scaling group. If you see, if you read, alarm triggered the policy as a changing capacity. Instance was taken out of the response in difference between the desired and the actual capacity. What does it mean is, since my alarm low, okay, the traffic is very low, right? We know in that monitoring tab I shown, it is only having a 4%. So as I said earlier, it will try to keep the capacity at the 50. So since it is very low right now, it automatically reduced my capacity from 2 to 1. Currently only one EC2 instance is serving my traffic. Okay, clear guys? So see how it is automatically reduce the capacity, because right now there was a very less traffic, so automatically it reduces. So now we are going to increase the capacity based on as a manually, then how it will responding we'll see. Okay, so I think I have some issues, inbound traffic. Since I didn't, okay, I didn't add a key pair, so it will not connect actually. Okay, so this is also we can take it as an opportunity. Since I didn't add as a key pair, I couldn't able to do an EC2 instance connect. So now I want to update. Okay, I want to EC2 instance to be updated. Okay, so what I can do means, that is where we can go to the launch template. Okay, in the launch temp we know this is the launch template has been used. I need to update all my EC2 instance. Even now it is only one instance. Take an example, in future there is a 10 instances, all the 10 instance needs to get the update. What I can do means I can edit this launch template. Okay, edit this launch, modify a launch template, and I'm adding a key pair here. Okay, RFC CDP test. I'm added a launch template. Okay, and create a new template version. Okay, so what I'm doing means I have created a new template version. I'm keeping it as a default as a 2. Okay, here I'm going need to give set a default version 2 as my default version. By default 1 will be there. Now I update the second version. Now I create a launch template, but I need to roll out those update to my auto scaling group instances. So how I can do means, that is where this instance refresh comes. Okay, if you see, while creating our AWS auto scaling, it was asking what type of instance refresh you want to keep. So I am going to use this option, terminate and launch before terminating, terminate and launch, and custom behavior. So launch before terminating means it will launch a new instance first, and then which means a new instance in the sense with the new updated properties, it will try to launch the instance before it terminating. Or if you want to you want to reduce the cost means, first you can reduce the terminate the existing instance and launch a new instance. In this case you will be having a little downtime. So based on the use case you will be rolling out. So I'm starting a start instance refresh. Okay, so what it does means it will delete this existing instance. Okay, if you see, I can show you right now. This is 237. That is what, that is the instance is available in my auto scaling group. So once after this instance refresh is completed, okay, what happens means one instance left to update, which means it is replacing. If you see, This instance is trying to replace the new instances. Okay. Okay, I given an instance warm pass of 5 minutes, so it will take next 5 minutes. Okay, it will try to replace the instance refresh. The existing EC2 instance will be replaced, and then you can see, right, that one five old instance is trying to terminate it. That's what I'm telling. This 157 is already terminated, so gone. It terminated the old instance, and new instance is coming into the picture, right? So new instances came. So this is how you will be having the rolling the updates. Okay, this is how you will be rolling the updates. So I am going to create if you see now, instance has been changed. So I am going to connect now. Yesterday we connected, right? Say what? Why it is not connecting? Just a minute, guys. I'm just checking the inbound rules and outbound rules. Outbound protocol. So I have able to connect my application now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the stress load. So just to watch out this, right now in our auto scaling group, right, this is the traffic. If you see, only the traffic is about I'm just 10 second 1 hour. Traffic is around 2.5 percentage, because only one EC2 instance having we are having. So that one EC2 instance is this one only, right? Only we are having currently having a traffic of 2.5 percentage. So what I will do means I will run the stress load. So it what is that mean is we are manually increasing, creating the traffic. Okay, so for that we will be having some commands. Okay, you will be able to get the commands here as well, or you can get it anywhere in the internet. Okay, so I'm just running these commands to create a stress load. Think in Amazon 3 we don't have extras, so we don't need that one. I'm going with the M install. So M stress I installed. Okay, I'm increase the traffic. Okay, CPU 8 please for a next 800 second or okay. Okay. this purging hogs, 8 CPUs running. Okay, I'm just duplicating it to show how much CPU utilization is happening, because right now because it takes 5 minutes, because we have not used a detailed monitoring to check 1 minute traffic. So since we used 5 minutes, it will sorry in basic monitoring it will take 5 minutes to replicate here. Every 5 minutes only traffic will come. So to show how much traffic is going right now, I'm just putting here top command. If you see, 91%, 100 percentage of CPU utilization happening, which means sorry, uh okay, it is running, right? That command is running. Okay, 99 percentage of CPU utilization happening. So it will take a 5 minutes to replicate here. Okay, then we'll see that we will see the spike in the traffic. Based on in this traffic, what happens means my auto scaling will start increase. Okay, that's what I want to show. It takes 5 minutes. Okay, just be aware about it. Okay, single core CPU. So it will be, see, the processes are running 8 CPU, 8 process I started running. If you see in this command, we are given 8, right? So 8 CPUs, 8 things are running for 800 seconds. I given us 1500 seconds. So for the next 1500 seconds, this is how it will be there. Currently our traffic is very less, right? Suddenly there will be a spike will come for a that particular time, and it will get reduced automatically. Okay, so that is what I'm expecting. So it takes a 5 minutes of time. Okay, so we'll wait for that one, and we'll see how our system is responding, like auto scaling is responding for it. Okay, here activity tab, we can have a watch out. Okay, so this is currently we'll have only one EC2 instance, right? We have given a group capacity is maximum of 5. Okay, so we'll see how it is response. So you can, if you want to take a break, take a 2 minutes of break. So I'm not going to give a break because anytime it will come. If you see, this is how the connectivities are going. Currently the traffic is, so time is 5:29. So our zone time, local time zone I will give. So 11, right? 11:14. Why there is no traffic after 11:14? So any doubts, guys? In meantime, we can discuss any. If you guys have any doubts, please let me know. It takes some time. I was trying to enhance monitoring development after. So I'm just giving a detailed monitoring for a while. It will give us in a minute. Okay. EC2 instance. Where's that EC2 instance? See, this is how you can see, right? Traffic is started increasing actually. 1 minute of times in. Start Traffic is started increasing. It is not reflecting in the auto scaling group. Okay, but if you see the traffic is started increasing to 35 or something local zone, but there is no traffic is coming after. Why it is not? So 10 10 last traffic 10 8 5 minutes once at least it needs to come. Okay, if you see traffic has came, if you now, right now there is a huge jump from here to here. If you see it is a 98 now. Okay, it will take some time to reflect. Okay, here you can see, right, suddenly the traffic has been increased from here to here, right, 99. Graph is not clear because of we constantly removed and all those things. So if you see it is a 198 percentage. So in case if it is a more 98 percentage means automatically if you go under a tab, it will take some time. Okay, it will start increasing the capacity. Okay, am I making sense? It will wait for a moment and it will see how it is responding. Okay, right now the capacity is 100. It couldn't able to draw the line, so it was coming. So even in our monitoring, this is a monitoring of auto scaling. If you see it is going 100 100. I'm refreshing here. So in alarm, okay, it means greater than 50 percentage is came. So once the alarm has begun, we'll discuss alarms and all in CloudWatch sessions. So soon we can accept, you can see, right, launching in a new EC2 instance, because the capacity is automatically suddenly the traffic has become an high. I didn't do anything manually. Automatically it is increasing the capacity from 1 to 2, right? It is increasing the capacity from 1 to 2. It will launch some more instances soon. Okay, so waiting for an instance warm up, it will increase the capacity and then. So this is what auto scaling is does. Suppose if I kill the capacity now, if you see this is how it shown in the diagram. The same way our monitoring will also will be looks like. It will be capacity will be there for next 15. I given for a next 25 minutes. The traffic will be stagnant here. Okay, until that it will try to increase the launch, it will try to increase the instance automatically, and then right now the capacity will be the 2. Still it needs more instance means it will increase the capacity. Okay, one if I kill this as I said, it is a man-made stuff, right? If I kill this stress, automatically the traffic will come down. Okay, from monitoring it will come down, and then what happens means, in the sense, we will be automatically scaling when happens, and new that new instance has been created, right? Those instances will reduce. So this is what exactly auto scaling is doing in the real time as well. Since we have created a traffic manually, we couldn't able to set up over the load balancer. It was available, but in a real time there will be a load balancers available. So through the load balancers we will be able to say, we will be sending the traffic to all the loads, and it will be tries to balance. Okay, everyone is clear, guys, with the auto scaling group? So it is taking some time. So currently, since our CPU utilization is high, scale out is happening. Once the CPU utilization is low, which means below 35, scale in happens, which means it will reduce the capacity. These are the two actions that happen when we are creating an auto scaling policies. Okay, so I hope everyone got an idea how auto scaling group is working. So I'm going to kill the stress. What happens once I kill the stress? That uh, right now the it is going in the 100, right? Okay, I'm going to, currently it is going in the hundreds. You can monitor here, right? But what I'm going to kill all the stress. So what happens means the capacity CPU utilization will reduce. It came down to zero. So what happens, our monitoring tab will come down to zero, and then automatically this alarm will trigger, which means once after CPU utilization comes below, for below 35 for 15 minutes, means it will start reducing the capacity. So how we are setting up these things is a matters. This thing, CloudWatch and all, will discuss in a very detailed manner how to set up alarms, monitoring cables, everything in the paid sessions. Okay, in upcoming sessions, which means, okay. So I hope everyone got exactly how auto scaling is works. Okay, I believe. Any doubts, guys, in this thing? If you guys have any doubts, please post it. I will be taking session. I will be taking the questions. See, I didn't do anything manually. It automatically increases to. So after this reduces to 35, it takes some time because we created man. It takes some time. Once it reduces to it starts reducing, right? Because our capacity has been starts reducing. So once it reduces to zero, and for 15 next to 15 minutes, if it is less than 35 minutes, scaling will happens, and then a minimum capacity will be maintained. So this is how auto scaling works in the real time as well. It's one of the best features AWS is having right now. Okay, there are a lot of services having for application development, application hosting. This is one of the best features AWS is having. So auto scaling can be implemented with the EC2 as well as with the RDS database and all mechanics. So we will discuss all those topics. Like we were having a lot more topics. Like there are 13 modules which we will be covering as 60 services. We will discuss in detail all the stuffs in the upcoming sessions. All right, guys. Please ask question if please ask any doubt questions if you have doubt on auto scaling.
Hi Gautam.
Yes.
Yeah, in real time, in dynamical way, we set auto scale in and scale out. It is only based on CPU utilization or any other
No.
API things or anything. You can use it.
There is a something advanced concept like a CloudWatch agent installation that and all I will be covering in the paid sessions. So what does that means? It is not only a CPU utilization. You can set up anything. By default, AWS provides um, these are the monitoring things as a monitoring like a CPU utilization, discrete options. These are the 10 default metrics they will be provide. In case if you wish to have your own metric, okay, it's called as a custom metric. There is a something called CloudWatch Unified Agent, which will help us to create our own metric use based on our traffic. Maybe in our in servers we can have our own metrics, right? We can create our own metrics. Using that metrics also we can perform this auto scaling. Okay, there is something called, for that there is a concept called CloudWatch Unified Agent. Okay, CloudWatch Agent for a custom metrics. So these are the topics we will be discussing in the cloud while we are discussing about the CloudWatch uh, metrics, alarms, all those things. Okay, so it's not that
Yeah, okay.
mandated that only we have to use a CPU utilization. We can have our, we can create our own custom metrics also by using a CloudWatch. Okay, agent, CloudWatch agent.
Yeah, I have another note. In case we have using auto scaling, we have web API servers. You can in web API server the CPU utilization increase 50%. They created another web API server using the load balancer, distributing or
Yes,
creating another instance. At the
yes.
time, the user is going to start the working on the another creating new instance. At that time, the CPU utilization very go low. The instance is terminated, or the user complete the flow of action. It will be terminated.
Okay, so in this case, what does that mean is whenever you are using a load balancer or auto scaling, if there is a any existing operation is performing, right? What happens that the termination policy is before terminating your EC2 instance, it will uh, how I can say me once we know, right, this initiation is happening, uh, terminating something is happening, right? So what happens in this time, it will not take any new calls. Okay, at the same time it will try to finish all the existing operation which is running in that particular EC2 instance. Okay,
Okay.
am I making sense? It will try to
Yeah.
complete all the operation which is happening currently in that particular EC2 instance before terminating it.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more doubts, guys? Okay, so in case if you guys don't doesn't have any doubts, I will be explaining about the what is the next process. So last week we have started this series with the basics, and then last week we discussed about IAM and then basics of AWS essentials. And in this week, yesterday we discussed about the EC2 instances, and today we discussed the extension of it like auto scaling features and all. So with this, with the end of this session we are ending our free sessions. So in case if you want to learn more, okay, so in our course we are following the AWS official, this is a AWS official book which has been used by AWS training team. Okay, so we are going to use the same syllabus for our training sessions, which is a solutions architect. For next like it will be having around 60 hours of service, 60 hours of course, 60 to 70 hours of course with the hands-on experience and labs and all. Okay, in case if you want to learn more about, please try to reach our team CDP network team for further more informations. So and also we are having an so team will guide you to how to join the course, and we are having a exciting offers as well. So as of first 10 members before who is joining before on or before 17, we are having some more benefits like a pre-booking of like a limited of time offer we are having, which is we will be giving extra course like VMware Sphere for free if you are joining in this course. Okay, so please try to grab the opportunity, join us and get some benefit like a additional benefits by joining this session. So we will be guiding on interview preparation as well as on the certification preparation. So and we will be providing all the recorded videos for the peoples who joined our paid courses. Okay, any doubts, guys? So please reach out the team if you wish to learn more. Okay, so thanks for the joining all these days. Okay, I hope you have a very good time with us. So I'm looking forward you guys will be joining in our paid sessions in the upcoming days, which we are starting. Okay, so please utilize the pre-booking offers. You will be getting it as an additional bonus right now. So don't waste that opportunity. Don't be dilemma. Okay, I am excited to. I am looking forward to meet you all in my pre predefined in the courses, in the paid courses. So all the best for your career as well.